Hello, my name is John Gross, and I'm with Team 32. And today we've got some great instruments for you, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. First up, you're going to see Josh Brown talking about his percussion instrument that'll play in the low tonal ranges. Next, you're going to see me again, and I'll be talking about a mid-low range string instrument. After that, you're going to see Richard talking about another string instrument in the mid-high range. And finally, we'll finish out with Ed, who created one of the most impressive instruments I've ever seen, a wind instrument in the high range. First up, it's Josh with his instrument.
Hello, my name is Joshua Brown, and this instrument here represents my attempt at a low tonal range xylophonic instrument, which you would play by either striking it with a striker or plucking it with your thumbs here. However, as you can hear, there's not really much tone coming out of it. I believe this is due to the lack of a resonating chamber. Due to the time constraints and the money constraints on this project, I wasn't able to come up with another prototype to resolve that issue. However, this prototype was designed to sit in the bottom of the box, flat, and let the other instruments be stacked on top of it. It was designed specifically to make the low tonal ranges, and it came in under budget at $15.
Thanks, Josh. This is our mid-low instrument. As you can see, it's a single string design and encompasses a single octave of range, ranging from D3 on the open string to D4 on the 12th fret. The basis for this instrument continues to be the physics behind standing waves on a string. What's interesting about a design of this type is that because tension is such a controllable element, we're able to take a unique design approach. We can pick the appropriate length to fit the design requirements, do rough calculations to determine an approximate linear mass density and tension of a string, pick a string that will be likely to give us close to the range we desire, and then we can adjust tension as necessary to fine-tune notes. In this case, I picked a string length of 18 inches because that allowed me to create a design that would remain under our 24-inch requirement. Interestingly enough, once you pick a string length, the placement of the frets down the neck will not change regardless of the range you're trying to achieve. The original design failed for two specific reasons. Number one, it had a neck that attached to the resonance box. However, it failed when the string was tightened, bowing the instrument and breaking the resonance box. Second, and more importantly, in the original design, I chose a linear mass density of string, and then accepted whatever length that gave me with a tension of approximately 80 newtons. This was not really the best approach. The best approach was to pick a string length, accept a linear mass density of a string, and then adjust tension as necessary to achieve the right tonal quality. The final budget for this instrument came out at just under $14. This instrument comes in at 23.5 inches total length, 7.5 inches total width, and 3.5 inches total depth, which means it'll fit nicely on top of Josh's instrument, up against the wall, and leave plenty of room for the other instruments. Next, we've got Richard with his mid-high instrument.
Hello, my name is Richard Arredondo, and I developed the mid-high instrument. It's a string instrument. Here it is completed. It has a 1.5 by 8 inch by 8 inch resonating chamber for the acoustics. The neck itself measures 22.5 inches, and it travels completely through the resonator and out the back. The string goes through here to attach. I did that because my first design didn't have that, and the instrument bowed when you tightened it. The finish is a light oak for the resonating chamber and a dark oak for the neck, which is also 1.5 inches. It has frets in place to play the accurate frequencies. The total cost, the plywood was $2. The wood itself was $4. The string was $1. The finish was the $2 standard. The total came to $10.50. Next time I would create an instrument that just had the strings cut to the appropriate lengths, so as to not have to worry about putting frets in and playing it. You could just pluck the strings.
Thanks, Richard, and finally we'll have Ed talking about his high-range wind instrument.
Hello, I'm Ed York, and I'll be showing you a high-range instrument, which is a wind instrument designed to be flute-like. Let me go ahead and play a couple of notes to demonstrate its capabilities. Some key features of this design is that the overall size is quite small. Also, it's very easy to play if you have any flute experience. The physics behind the placement of our finger holes can be seen in this slide. Now when we constructed this instrument, we actually started with 2 identical ones and used one for a prototype. With that prototype, we used the physics formula to get the exact placements of the theoretical values for these finger holes. Now what we quickly learned was that the theoretical values did not give us exactly what we were looking for in actuality. So we were able to move them a little bit in our final design. That prototype also allowed us to find that our initial design of having all the finger holes in one straight line was not a good idea because it was not very ergonomically friendly. So in our final design, we moved the finger holes to make it more comfortable while playing. The final cost of this instrument was only $5. The biggest challenge that we had was learning how to play this because we did not have flute experience, but once we caught on, it was no problem. If I were to improve this, I would reduce the inner diameter because with a larger diameter, we had to blow more wind throughout the whole song. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ed. As you can see, we had some setbacks and some struggles as we came up with these designs and built these prototypes, but I think you'll agree that we met the goals of the project, and we hope you like our designs. Thank you for your time. This is Team 32.